So I've always been a horse rider. I've ridden horses my whole life, grown up with them. I've always been covered in bite marks, bruises, hence my legs, and it's just who I am. And I remember walking one day going, I really want to shovel horse shit for a living. I want to do that. I know it sounds bizarre, but you could just ride horses and that's my dream. I love to be active. I want to be out in nature. I love horses. Let me go and I wish I could find a job like that. Went for a walk, saw two horse riders coming towards me, and suddenly the voice in my back of my head, you know that voice, you've experienced it before, right? The voice is like, do it, or don't do it, don't do it, do it, do it. And this voice was pushing me, just ask them. And Steph goes, do you know of a job? Anyway, what do you know it? I was riding those two horses the following week. As my job, I was getting paid to ride horses. And I remember one afternoon, it was about 5 months after we'd broken up, I got this new job, I was being paid to do the best thing on planet Earth. And I remember standing looking out over the field and thinking to myself, how did I get so lucky? How good is this? I don't remember being this happy. Having made hard decisions, come from rock bottom, and decided to do things that I wanted to do. A few days later, I remember, so I don't know if you know what a horse float is, or it's a big truck, kind of like the one behind, except imagine it's bigger and there's a kitchen, dining room, living room area, and then you can put 4 horses in the back, all right? So slightly bigger.
A horse caravan.
It's like a horse caravan, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, so it's big, all right? We had a young horse that was coming from somewhere else. On the truck, the other lady that was working with me brought the truck in through the gate. I was gonna go and help her unload the horse. Now, this ramp is supposed to come down hydraulically. So you undo a safety clip, other person does a safety clip, and the ramp stays up. You go around to the side, which is the side I was on, you click the button, stand back, and it comes down. Right, so that didn't happen. I was standing underneath it, and as I undid the safety clip, I just felt this weight come down on the top of my head. And I ducked to the left. The ramp caught me on the side of my hip here. All the skin here is numb. And I landed on the concrete so hard that I shattered my pelvis in 3 places and cracked my lower spine. And now I'm not the kind of person that, I've never been in hospital, I've never been in an ambulance before. I've always been really blessed and really healthy like that. And I remember saying to her, you need to call an ambulance, because the pain hit me like a ton of bricks. And so the ambulance came, my mum and my sister came, and I was kind of in and out. They tried to give me, if you've had a baby or if you've ever been in a situation like this, you know what Entonox gas is. So you see on those medical shows, they give you that gas, the little thing, and you breathe it in, and it's supposed to kind of make you feel a bit woozy or drunk. I've not been drunk, so I don't know, but it felt really terrible. And I remember I couldn't breathe it because I had too much pain in my abdomen, and that's when I heard the words helicopter floating around. They called the helicopter, the air ambulance, to come and take me to the hospital, because they knew I had a broken pelvis. They put a splint on it. Now, a broken pelvis has a 50% mortality rate, because you've got all of these big blood vessels in your, in this part of your body. If you've got a pelvic break that severs one of those blood vessels, you can bleed out. So you bleed out into your tummy. So you look fine, but you're bleeding into your tummy. Sign of that is low blood pressure. So I had low blood pressure. I did have some mild internal bleeding. It wasn't too bad, but I remember feeling really horrible. They gave me some morphine, which was really nice. And I hit on the male doctors. My dad reminded me of this the other day. I actually did. I asked him if he was from Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, that was embarrassing. My family won't let me forget that. But they were really good looking. Can you blame me? No. So I spent 2 weeks in hospital. I learned how to walk again. I had to learn how to because it was the left side, so I had to learn how to lift myself up with my one leg and actually how to move myself, how to go to the bathroom. I had a catheter in for almost 10 days. Having nurses, like when Nina said, you can't do anything for yourself because nurses are wiping you and changing you and watching you, and my catheter leaked in the middle of the night. And I remember thinking, I'm lying in my own pee, and it was horrible. The nurse came and it's one of those things. This accident taught me so much about myself and taught me so much about who I wanted to be and what my body had done for me up until that point. And I wouldn't take that back for a second, because both of those experiences happening within 6 months of each other, they've changed my life. It's why I started my business. It's why I'm, talking to you guys today, and why I really hope that if one person, like what Asha said earlier, if one person goes away with something, that's the whole purpose of this. It's just to help one person. That's what I always promised myself that I would do. And that's why I'm really grateful to be speaking here tonight.
So for any of the girls that might be sitting here and they are listening to your story and thinking to themselves, I know what kind of life I want to create for myself, and I know that I want to place more value on myself and love my body, what would you say to them?
I love that question. I'm going to say this now, that you can do whatever you want. You can do literally whatever you want. I want to join the rat race and have a house and have kids and have lots of cats and have horses out my back door and never leave my living room. I want that. And you know what? That's all right. Maybe you or X, Y, and Z want to go and travel the world. My sister wants to travel the world. I don't want that. You are and this is something I learned after my breakup and after this accident. I am my own boss. I can do what I want. I choose my life. You are the one that is in control all the time. Even if you feel like you're not in control, you have that control, because you can turn around and say, not for me, or you can go, this is what I want to do. I promise you, and the best time, and that's what Nina said and what we spoke about earlier, is start right now. Literally this moment. If there's someone in your life that you don't want in your life, work a way to cut them out. Harsh, I know, who cares? It's your life, you're the boss, right? Everything's totally up to you. And honestly, if little me, was so insignificant in my relationship, was so insignificant to everything, could do something like that and create a life that I wanted so badly, oh my word, you could do it too. There's no difference. You can create the relationships you want. Create that relationship with yourself. You can. I believe in you.